So hello guys and welcome back to another very important video session from your own channel Let's Crack NEET UG English. My name is Vipin Sharma and I am your biology mentor. In this particular video we are going to talk about the basic aspects of taxonomical aids, and we are going to talk about the most important taxonomical aid in your book, in your chapter The Living World, that is Herbarium. So please make sure to watch this complete video so that you can get most of the important concepts from Herbarium and taxonomical aids. So let's proceed in this video and let's crack it, guys. So these are some important credentials of mine. You can have a look if you want. Otherwise, let's proceed. You can also get connected to us via Unacademy's learning app. This app is freely available on Google Play Store. You just need to install this app. You just need to click on the NEET UG section, and after that you need to click on the get subscription icon. When you are going to click on get subscription, you will be getting all our subscription packages on your screen, and I will recommend you guys to take a bigger pack because it is going to be more feasible and it is going to be more cheaper in terms of cost. For example, if you are going to take 1 month subscription pack, it is going to cost you around 5,400 rupees per month. But if you take a 24 months course, it will only cost you around 1,350 rupees per month. It means that if you are going to compare the monthly cost of a 1 month pack and a 24 months pack, then you will be finding a difference of 4 to 5 times, which is a very big thing, right? And especially for students. So you have to take 1 year or 2 year pack so that you can avail all these packages and the lectures from 40 plus top educators of India, so that you can prepare yourself for NEET in a great way in the lowest cost possible. So please make sure to get a 1 year pack or a 2 year pack. And for additional discount, what you can do is you can just use my code Vipin. You will be asked for a referral code at the time of making a payment. So at that time you can just insert my referral code, that is capital VIPIN Vipin, and you will be getting additional 10% off on all your subscriptions. You can enroll yourself in my batch and you can watch the videos of all the 40 plus top educators on Unacademy just by using this single code. So this is my personal recommendation to use the code Vipin, because my batch is going to start just after NEET 2020 and we are going to start our preparation for NEET 2021 and NEET 2022 batch. Other than that, tomorrow I am going to launch 8-hour marathon session on Unacademy special classes which are entirely free of cost. So you can just search my name on Unacademy's learning app, that is Vipin Sharma, or my ID is Vipin007. So if you are going to search this ID, you can watch all the lectures of ecology by me. All these lectures are going to be theoretical, so it is very important for you to build your concepts. I personally invite you to my 8-hour marathon session of ecology for NEET 2020, and those lectures are obviously going to be very helpful for NEET 2021 and NEET 2022 aspirants also. So if you want to take subscription, just use code Vipin and please share this code with your friends so that they can also get benefit out of it. What you are going to get in the Unacademy Plus subscription, you will be getting live classes on daily basis. It means that you will be getting the classes of physics, chemistry and biology daily. And the courses are going to be really structured. It means that there are no random videos in between. We are going to go in a unit wise fashion so that you can understand each and everything properly and you can implement each and everything in your examination in a better way, so that you can make maximum marks possible, right? There will be live tests and quizzes, and there will be regular ranks that will be given to you. So on the basis of that, you can just have an assessment that how much you have to improve till your final examination. So obviously it becomes very important for you to gather a lot of knowledge with supervision, that how much you are improving and how much you have to improve before exam. All these things are very critical. So it becomes very important for you to note down your rank after each and every test. Unlimited access, it means that if you want to watch videos of any educator 10 times, 20 times, you can watch them as many times as possible. There is no restriction. There is no upper limit. You can watch the videos even 50 times if you want, right? So let's proceed in the discussion of the living system and let's talk about the taxonomical aids. Okay, aids means something that helps in supplementation or some tools that helps in the research. So these are aids, which simply means tools. It's not acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. These are tools that helps in understanding taxonomical hierarchy better, or it is helpful in identification of variety of species. And identification is a very important part of taxonomy. So that's why these tools are called as taxonomical aids, as they are very helpful in the identification process of different kind of species. So this is the basics of taxonomical aids. So taxonomical studies of various species of plants, animals and other organisms are useful in agriculture. If you have a knowledge of variety of plants, then you can basically utilize them in agriculture, because you know very well that what are the best crops that are going to give you the best yield and best protein content or best carbohydrate content possible. So in agriculture you can utilize your knowledge of taxonomy, that this particular plant has this chemical in it, this particular plant has this chemical in it, so you can use that particular thing in the applied manner. Then forestry, you can just have a look at what are the different forest plants looking like and what are the important aspects of that plants. Okay, which of the following trees is going to be used as timber, which of the following trees is medicinal. So you have the knowledge for all those kind of things. It will surely gonna help you out in forestry also. Okay, industry, you can extract different kind of compounds from variety of plants and you can just commercialize them, you can just send them to the market so that you can get the best value possible. And in general, in knowing our bioresources and their diversity. And let's say you are not doing any business, let's say you are not commercializing anything, in that particular point you can just have a look at your biodiversity. You can just note down that how diverse the living world is and how much number of plant species you can just gather from a particular area. So you can just note down all these kind of things in a notebook and you can just make a research out of it. You can just do analysis out of it, right? So it is going to be important from all the perspective, even if you are a scientist, even if you are an industrialist, even if you are a farmer. So from all the perspectives it becomes very important to note the taxonomy and important feature of all the plants and animals in your surrounding. So these studies would require correct classification and identification of the organism. If you want to note down the important points about any plants, you should be very careful about its classification. Let's say you have found a plant which is a dicot. So if it's a dicot, you know very well that this dicot is an flowering plant. It means that it's an angiosperm. So you already got a lot of characters of that particular plant just by noting that it's a dicot. If it's an angiosperm, it will be having flowers. Okay, if it's an angiosperm, then it will be having seeds which are not naked. So there are a lot of characters that you can have a look at just by knowing the category. So if the correct identification and the correct classification of a plant is done or for an organism is done, then there would be a lot of characters that you will be already knowing about that organism. Let's say there is an individual which is an insect. You have just found that insect. Okay, and since it is an insect, you can relate some of the characters that you already know. If it is going to be an insect, it will be having a chitinous exoskeleton, it will be having paired appendages as it is an arthropod. So there are a lot of characters that you already know about the insect very well. So identification of organism require intensive laboratory and field studies. It means that for identification you need to have a look at the morphology of an organism, you need to have a look at the anatomy of an organism, and after that you need to have a look at its biochemical nature and its genetic nature, which could be done in laboratory only. You can't just see an organism and you can predict the molecules inside that organism. It's really not possible. To predict that what are the important compounds in a plant, to predict that what are the important compounds in an animal, you need to go to the laboratory and you need to do variety of tests, that what are the important chemical constituents of that animal or plant. So the collection of actual specimen of plant and animal species is essential and is the prime source of taxonomical study. It means that if you want to do the taxonomical analysis, then real specimens are very essential. It means that you need to go to a particular place and you need to take up the correct specimen and the original authentic specimen of a particular plant or any of the organism. These are also fundamental to studies and essential for training in systematics. It is used for classification of an organism and the information gathered is also stored along with the specimen. It means that you have taken some specimen for research, you have done a lot of research on this, so at the end of the day you will be having some data with you. that you have found its class, you have found its order, you have found what kind of flower it do have, you have found what kind of chemicals it do have. So you have the data along with the specimen. So if some researcher comes in your lab after you, and if he is looking at your work, then he will be finding the same specimen and he will be finding the data along with the specimen. So he doesn't have to do the same amount of hard work. He will be getting a secured data, he will be getting a data in pre-stored form, so that it could be utilized for the research purpose from another individual. Okay, so the information is stored along with the specimen so that it could be used for the further studies. So there are a lot of tools in taxonomy where the specimens are preserved along with their data, along with the information gathered, so that a lot of students or a lot of researchers coming after the main researchers could have a look at the data which is stored. So the very first type of taxonomical aid that we basically use is herbarium. So in herbarium there is a word that is herb, and herbs are kind of plants. You know about the scheme given by Aristotle. Aristotle, who was the father of biology, he has basically given a scheme to divide plants and animals into variety of categories. So he has divided plants into variety of categories, and what were those categories? Those categories were herbs, those categories were shrubs, and third one was tree. So herbs are the herbaceous plants which are having soft stem, then shrubs which are bushy in nature, okay, bushy in nature, and trees which are tall in height and which are showing the lateral growth, which are showing the secondary growth also, which are increasing in girth as well. So these are the three categories of plant according to Aristotle. So herbs are stored in the form of sheets. They are arranged while they have basically been packed in the form of sheets. They are being stuck on sheets, and after that there will be a label on that sheet which is providing a lot of information about the herb which is collected by a scientist. So that forms a very important taxonomical aid for plants only, that is called as herbarium. So it is used only for plants, it is not used for animals, so only for plants. Why? Because the name herb is coming in the herbarium itself. So herbarium is a storehouse of collected plant specimens which are dried, pressed and preserved on sheet. Okay, so what is the basic scheme? Let's say you have gone to a place and you have found this particular plant. Okay, this is a herb because it doesn't show any kind of secondary growth in it. It is totally herbaceous. You can just have a look at the this particular part. This is leafy part and the stem is herbaceous. It is very thin in nature, so it could be easily stuck or pasted on a paper. So what you have done, you have collected this particular specimen. So the first part is collection. So you have collected this particular specimen. After that you have dried it. Okay, you have just kept this particular specimen in sunlight for a short duration, and after that you have preserved this particular specimen in the form of sheet. You have preserved this particular specimen in the form of sheet. So what you have done, you have just dried it and you have pressed it after that before preservation, so that it could be converted into a 2D specimen. Okay, let's say if this is a specimen. Okay, let's say if this is a specimen. Okay, I have just taken that specimen on a plain surface, and after that what I have done, I have just pasted a newspaper over here. Let's say this is a newspaper. Okay, I have just taken a newspaper over here, and in between that I have pasted my specimen, and after that I have taken another newspaper above it. Okay, so I have newspaper below, I have newspaper above the specimen, so the specimen is present between two newspapers, and after that I have kept some sort of weight on these newspapers so that the specimens could be pressed. Okay, so this specimen is pressed at the end of the day and it will become thin. It becomes so thin that it could be easily pressed and it could be easily pasted on a sheet of paper. So this is a pressed specimen and it is pasted on this sheet of paper, so you will be getting a 2D specimen. Okay, you can have a look at this flower. Okay, you can have a look at this flower. This flower is now pasted on a paper. Initially the flower is having a 3D shape just like this, but after that when it is pasted it will become like this. Okay, so this is the protocol of herbarium. That what happens over here is you have taken a specimen, after that you have dried it, you have pressed it and you have preserved it on sheet which are arranged according to a universally accepted system of classification. Okay, so they are arranged on the basis of their genus or on the basis of their genera according to the Bentham and Hooker classification system. According to the Bentham and Hooker classification system, they are arranged. So for example, this is a particular family called as Solanaceae. Okay, so the specimens of family Solanaceae according to their genus are separated and are placed over here. Then there is family, let's say, Leguminosae. There is family, let's say, Liliaceae. There is family, let's say, Rosaceae. There is family, let's say, Ranunculaceae. So all these kind of families are differentiated, and all these kind of families are having their specimens in different chambers, and which are separated on the basis of their genus according to the Bentham and Hooker classification system. So all these sheets are arranged in such a way as the books are arranged in a library. When you go to a library, if you want a book of accountancy, you will go to the section of accounts and economics and you will just found a book. Okay, if you want to have a microbiology book, then you will go to the microbiology section and you will just take up the Prescott, or you can just take up the Pelzar book. After that, if you want to have a biochemistry book, you can just go to the section of biochemistry. You can just take up the Leininger, or you can just take up the Stryer, or you can take up Grisham and Garrett. So you will be taking variety of books of biochemistry. So here also, if you want to gather a specimen of family Solanaceae, you will be given that chamber only. Okay, in that chamber you can search for your specimen, so it will become very easy for you, so that it could be just retrieved in a faster way. So you have stored the information in such a way that it could be easily caught up when needed. Okay, so description of a particular specimen is also given on the herbarium sheet, and that's why you will be noticing a lot of things about a particular plant. Let's say if this is a particular herbarium sheet, then this herbarium sheet is going to have a dimension of 41 cross 29 centimeter square. In different books it's 41 cross 28. Okay, so it's 41 cross 29 centimeter square, it's its dimension. And when it comes to the label, it's around 12 centimeter, and this is around 7 centimeter. Okay, you can also get them converted into inches. That's really not a big deal, because 1 centimeter or 1 inch is going to have somewhat like 2.52 or 2.54 centimeters. So you can easily convert them up into inches also. So this is the label, and this label is present at the lower right corner of the sheet, and this label is containing more than 7 different things. Okay, out of them 7 were given in NCERT. So what are the 7 different things that are given in NCERT? The name of collector. Let's say if I have collected this particular specimen, my name will be written over there that Vipin Sharma has collected that specimen. The place of collection, the place from which I have taken that specimen. For example, Keshav Nagar is the place where I have collected this specimen from. Okay, so name is there, place is there. After that there is English name. Okay, there is English name. Okay, whatever the name of this plant. After that, vernacular name, that what is the local plant name. For example, let's say if I have taken Calotropis, so the local names are going to be Ak or Akda or Madar. These are going to be the vernacular names at variety of places in India. After that, there will be botanical name. Okay, what is the scientific name of that particular plant. After that, there is going to be family. Okay, and there will be date of collection, that in what particular date this particular specimen is collected by the collector. Okay, so there are a lot of things which are provided in the label. So there is date of collection that we have talked about, there is place of collection that we have talked about, the English name, the local name and the botanical name, the family and the collector's name. These are the 7 different things which are mentioned on the label on the lower right corner of the herbarium sheet. Now these herbarium sheets are called as the repository. Repository means it is going to have the storage. Okay, repository means the storehouse. So it is the storehouse of variety of plant specimens, and if you want to gather any specimen from the storehouse, you can directly search it up according to the search system. Just like in a dictionary the words are arranged in an alphabetical order, similarly in the repository the specimens are arranged according to the Bentham and Hooker classification system. So you can just go to a repository, you can search out for your family, you can search out for the genus, and you will be getting your specimens in your hand. and you can just read them up, you can just gather the information, and you can also gather the locality, that from what particular locality this specimen is taken, so that you can go to that locality and you can gather the same specimen also, because in the studies the original and authentic specimen collection is very critical. So it becomes very important for you that if you are an active researcher, you need to go to the very same area and you need to gather the very same specimen. So it will be very helpful for you guys to gather the same specimen if you got an idea from the previous researches. Okay, so herbaria are the quick referral system in taxonomical studies. They are quick referral system because if you will be giving me a dictionary and you are telling me to find out a word, then I'll surely be finding that word in 10 seconds, because I know that it is arranged according to the alphabetical order. But if the words are arranged in a dictionary in random fashion, then I'll not be able to find that word even in a time span of 6 months or 7 months. It will be very difficult for me to find that word if the things are placed in orderly. Okay, so what becomes very critical over here is that it is a quick referral system, because you know that all the things are arranged in a proper way, and that's why it is a very good repository of the plant specimen. So these two words are very crucial and they are already asked in the examination. What you need to do is you need to poison this particular thing also. Poison means not killing. Poison means, you know, just imposing some sort of chemicals on this specimen. Okay, you need to just spray some sort of chemicals on this specimen so that none of the insect can degrade the specimen for a very long time. For example, 0.1% corrosive sublimate, 0.1% corrosive sublimate of HgCl2. This is very important, very important. So you need to take care of that 0.1% corrosive sublimate of HgCl2, that is your mercurous chloride, is very important, and it is usually sprayed so that none of the insects or none of the pests can come to this specimen to degrade it. Okay, and after that there is a very important thing called as vasculum, and the vasculum is made up of metal. So when you go to a place to collect a specimen, you basically take a poly bag, and most of the times if you are a passionate researcher, you will be doing each and everything in a great way, in a appropriate way. So metallic vasculum or the boxes made up of metal are usually taken to the place of specimen collection, and specimens were put into that metallic vasculum. Okay, so these are some important points, very important points from examinations point of view. Other than that, there are some crucial herbarium which are present in India, that is Central Herbarium, Central National Herbarium, which is present in Calcutta. Okay, National Botanical Research Institute also have its own herbarium which is situated in Lucknow. Royal Botanical Garden also have its herbarium, okay, that is Royal Herbarium, which contains more than 6 million specimens. So it is also very big herbarium, collecting a lot of specimens, and a lot of specimens were having multiple copies. For example, for let's say rose flower, they will be having multiple hundreds of specimens of the rose flower itself, and that's why the number of specimen is even more than the number of total species. So this is about the herbarium, and I hope you got this information very well. So there are a lot of things that we have already discussed in NCERT, and there are some things which are not given in NCERT. For example, this size, okay, the poisoning and vasculum, and these names are not given in NCERT in herbarium section. It becomes very important for you to note them down in your NCERT or in your notebook so that you can never forget them. Thank you so much guys for watching this video. Lots of love. I'll catch you in the next video. So if you really found this video helpful for your preparation, then please make sure to like our video. Please make sure to subscribe to our channel, and please make sure to get connected to us via Unacademy's learning app. And if you want to take Unacademy's Plus subscription, and if you want to join me for NEET 2021 and NEET 2022, please use this code Vipin to take Unacademy's Plus subscription. My special classes were also going in Unacademy's learning app. You can just install this app. You can search for my username, that is Vipin007, and you will be directed to all my free courses. You can just install this app and you can just enjoy my free courses, entirely free of cost. But there will be a paid batch for the students who are going to pay and come to the batches. They will be totally guided by 40+ teachers, and there will be regular batches going on for them after NEET 2020. So it will really be helpful for you guys to join those batches. So please use code Vipin and please stay tuned for all the coming videos on this channel. Thank you so much guys. Jai Hind. Lots of love. I'll surely catch you in the next video. Thank you.